Hello and welcome to another update video about DOT. DOT chart continues to be in a sideways range. We haven't seen much movement in the last few days. Also today was a quiet day. I mentioned it yesterday already. Today obviously the stock market in the US was closed, so we didn't really see much exciting movement here. However, DOT is holding stable in the support area. The price broke below this trend line though. This ascending trend line. It's not great, but also not really a problem. So it's not respecting it anymore. I can take it out. Did respect it before though. So yeah, let's talk about the short-term bullish and short-term bearish scenario here for DOT. We've seen a wave 1 to the upside initially in the short-term bullish scenario into the November highs, a wave 2 to the downside into the November lows, a wave 3 to the upside, a wave 4 to the downside, and the wave 5 to the upside is basically ideally still to come. Maybe it's already started. Today we've seen a little bit of short-term volatility, but overall it's been holding really well. So we don't have any additional clues, nothing new that we can really use to evaluate, okay, is it rather going up in the yellow count in the more bullish scenario, or is it actually unfolding in the short-term bearish one, which is here the white count? Again, there's no evidence for the white count as such right now. I mean, to a degree there is, but we're holding above support. So as long as we're holding above the orange support zone or within the zone, and the yellow count isn't broken, I don't need to make the white count the primary scenario. However, I can tell you that they're both likely. I wouldn't show you an unlikely wave count. I wouldn't show you an unlikely scenario. I do all that filtering before, so the unlikely counts aren't even shown. So we have here a short-term bullish and a short-term bearish scenario, both possible. And it's important to realize that really, the $6.28 level needs to hold to keep the yellow count really a valid scenario, because below the golden ratio, even in a diagonal, the wave 4 is too deep to be reliable. It then typically morphs into a B wave, which would be the white count. But to be honest, already a break below the $6.50 level, as I mentioned in the last video, will basically invalidate the structure as it is, which might have bottomed here in an ABC structure on Monday the 8th. The thing is, the problem really is that this move to the upside is only a 3-wave move. Price got rejected in resistance, and it's failed so far to create 5 clear waves to the upside. So that means we have to keep the door open for lower in the white count. But what happens in here in the box is, it's the market doesn't really know itself. Okay, so the problem is whenever we have 3 waves up, we haven't got a really good edge to say that, yep, okay, this is good, this is bullish. No, it keeps it really unclear. That's the problem. So be a bit careful here, but the support levels are clear. Also the invalidation point, I mentioned it, and the price should really hold above 650, or probabilities for the white count increase, which wouldn't be a disaster. It would just mean it's an A, B, and probably C wave to the downside now in a larger B wave. So basically A wave up in 3 waves, B wave down in 3 waves, and the C wave up afterwards. Okay, so that can take us to round about $14-15 next, if the price can form and find support in the yellow box. So, but for now, I'm watching for higher directly from here to really get into this target area up there in the yellow count, which is basically $10.21 and above. The price really needs to break above the red resistance zone, which is currently between $8.34 and $8.87. Also, the $8.87 level is not only an important Fibonacci retracement level and resistance level, it's also structural resistance of this previous B wave high. So typically a break above a B wave high suggests that the next wave, in this case to the upside, has started to unfold. There is really not much more to add. I mean, again, in reality, this corrective pattern can turn into something much more complex potentially that we can't even, let's say, visualize, because these corrective patterns, until a correction is complete, it may morph, transform. There are more than 10 corrective patterns in Elliott Wave. Yeah, so all I can say, we're still watching for higher as long as support holds, but it's not a very strong leaning I have, because the last rally, and that's the main problem, was only in 3 waves so far. But still watching for higher end probabilities for the 5th wave, that the 5th wave is unfolding. They increase with a break above 887. Yeah, that's my update about DOT. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.